This is Smiles TV. You're watching Smiles TV. I'm Stephanie Anthony Miles, and thank you for tuning in. We have an excellent, heartwarming broadcast for you today. I'm talking with a friend, Charlotte Ottley, who's a 5-time Emmy Award winner and a great entrepreneur. She's done some magnificent things. You don't want to miss this broadcast. Remember, Jesus Christ was born of a virgin. He was crucified and buried, and he rose on the third day. Confess with your mouth, Jesus is Lord. Believe in your heart that God has raised him from the dead, and thou shalt be saved. Stay tuned for more smiles. When you visit Big Mama's in East St. Louis, Illinois, located at 5900 St. Clair Avenue, you will need a fork and a bib. Big Mama's is known for their barbecue, cakes, excellent service, and giving back to the community. Call in, eat in, drive through, carry out, order for your office. You can call Big Mama's at 618-398-8950 or visit 5900 St. Clair Avenue in East St. Louis, Illinois.
Listen as your day unfolds, challenge what the future holds.
Charlotte Ottley has been called the Dream Merchant.
You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser.
Her storied life says it all. During a career that spans over 30 years, her ability to think big opened doors for her to become a university instructor of physical medicine, broadcast producer, and on-air talent in St. Louis and New York, an author and entrepreneur.
The keys to everything is to, if you're going to do something, do it with pride. If you're going to do it, be enthusiastic about it, because if you aren't, no one else is going to be. To be sincere, because even a dog and a baby know when you aren't. And to be inclusive and show you care.
It's fascinating the number of dignitaries and celebrities Charlotte has worked with.
Meeting Miss Dunham, Catherine Dunham, as a college senior and remaining friends with her until her death.
Ossie Davis and Ruby Dee, Anna Maria Horsford, Ray Goodman and Brown, Malik Yoba, and even Presidents Clinton and Nelson Mandela.
That's when I was representing the American Urban Radio Network. And so when Mandela became president, they called American Urban Radio Network and said, Mandela's going to be here, we're going to make a major announcement. We would like black media, up front. So they called me, put me on a plane. I came and I organized the entire press conference and made sure on the mics were our IDs.
Hundreds of pictures reveal her astounding journey that began as a child growing up in East St. Louis. Her family, pillars of the community, was her foundation and motivation. Charlotte graduated with her master's degree in communications from Southern Illinois University at Carbondale and earned a certificate in business management from Northwestern University's Kellogg Center. Her foray into the world of television came after talking to media representatives about a sleep exhibit in downtown St. Louis.
Well, at that time, I'm physical medicine. I understand how the brain is working, so I could explain that exhibit to the media. So I started doing interviews, and one of the people from the media just said, you should be in media.
Charlotte took that advice and was offered a job at KMOV Channel 4. She remained with the station 11 years, and in that time, to her surprise, she won her first local Emmy Award over talk show host Sally Jessy Raphael.
Because she was a national show, I was a local show, and that was a win for St. Louis.
She also recalls when CBS gave a whopping $1.2 million to the St. Louis market.
I divided it between 13 organizations that renovated the dance school for Catherine Dunham. It created the boys' home for Annie Malone. It bought the bleachers for Matthew Dickey's Boys Club, and the list goes on.
In 1990, Charlotte left St. Louis for the Big Apple to work for WNBC. There, she won 3 more Emmy Awards. Other awards would follow, including 2 PRSA Golden Apple Awards, the President's Award from the NAACP in East St. Louis, and one from Crane, New York's 100 Most Powerful Minority Business Leaders. In addition, she has been featured in Essence and Time magazines and selected as the first African American Alumni of the Year at SIU Carbondale. In 2005, Charlotte returned to St. Louis, where she works with the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis and its director, Michael McMillan, on major projects throughout the year. She authored several handbooks on personal and professional success. Her recent book is entitled Surviving Success, Changes, Challenges, and Choices. But despite all of her career accomplishments, she says her true legacy is the Women's Center named in her honor. The Charlotte Merritt's Ottley Transitional Women's Center helps women transition into fulfilling lives that are substance-free.
So someone to think enough of me and how I've lived my life that they would choose me, my image, to stand for women who are challenged, women who have gone through what they've had and still find me worthy.
What's next for you?
You know, I'm so excited. I think it's going to be something special. I'm not sure. Because for some reason, I never get what I think I'm going after. It doesn't matter whether it's a man, whether it's a job. I never get what I go after. But what I get is always much better. It's like, whoa.
Wasn't that an excellent profile of Charlotte Ottley? 5-time Emmy Award winner, my friend Charlotte. Thank you for allowing me to come to your home.
Thank you.
God bless you. God bless you. We're at the home of Charlotte Ottley, and I'm just ecstatic to sit here with you. At the end of the profile, you made a statement, something to the fact that I don't know what's in store for me within the next 4 years. And I also found out that you were a board member of a National Donor Foundation.
I had been.
You had been?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Charlotte, what's in store?
I have kidney failure, and I've been given the option of dialysis or being as vigorous as I could to get an organ donor.
Okay.
And if you have known anything about me, I'm taking the risk, the challenges, and the prayer to get an organ donor.
So Charlotte needs a kidney.
Yes.
And we want to focus on that. We're going to start right off at the top of the broadcast with the information that is needed. Charlotte Ottley, who has done so much, not just in the St. Louis metropolitan area, but across the country, across the world. And because, like I said, we'll start off with that information right now. Charlotte Ottley is in need of a kidney, and it's so ironic because she's done so much in that field for other people. But in order to be interested in donating, you can call 1-800-633-9906. 1-800-633-9906. And I know it may seem a little odd just to come right in with it, but we want to make sure that this information gets out as much as possible. Charlotte.
But you have to say that you're calling to be a donor for Charlotte Ottley.
Thank you. Right. You have to say that you're calling to be a donor for Charlotte.
Great.
Charlotte, it's so ironic that you're in that position and you've done so much. Tell us some of the things that you've done in that area for other people.
Well, you know, I've always, whether it's my media career or my medical career or my entrepreneurial career, made it a foundation to whatever I give, whatever I receive, and whatever I do, that I'm giving it back. And whether it's adopting an organization and giving them services that they could not otherwise afford so that they can reap the benefit of it, being there for a friend in need, but it's a thing that I grew up with. I remember once my uncle was a precinct committeeman, and a man came to him and said, "Charlie, my daughter needs some shoes to go to school. And so my uncle says, well, what size is she? He says, like that little girl over there. And I was having such a good time in my black patent leather shoes. And he says, come here, honey, take those shoes off. And gave my brand new
my
shoes.
goodness.
But that was my family teaching me, don't get attached to things like this, because there are other people who need so much more.
Yes.
And I think it's ingrained in me to be for others, to sense and not humiliate people by making them ask. But if I sense that there's a need, I try to help.
Let's talk about when you first found out that you had kidney failure.
Now, understand, I'm independent. I take care of myself. I take a lot of pride in my privacy, a lot of pride in being discreet. And I'm sitting across from a doctor one day. Now, I knew that I had diabetes, but in my understanding of diabetes, I didn't want to get out of 7.4 or 7.1. So I, waffled between those two areas. And I knew that I worked in a very high-stress area. But
Okay.
that was part of my success, the drive and the push and the pull. And so I knew those things. So I knew I was at risk of greater diabetes.
Okay.
I never dreamed that the end result was kidney failure. Now call it ignorant. I can't go back with woulda, shoulda, couldas. But I found out with the doctor, he didn't even look at me. He just says, well, you need to start deciding whether you're going to do dialysis or kidney transplant.
Wow.
That was in February. I was numb and walked out and just, had time by myself because it was such a shock that I was at that point. Then I went to a class in May and I was shocked again as I looked at the people in the class with me and I looked at the clinics and that it was like, how did I get here? And I had to make a choice. I had to decide whether I was going to fight this, not question God's fate for me, but that I had enough faith in Him that He had given me the talent to help thousands of other people in marketing and PR and media. Why would He not expect me to do it for myself? So as a result of that, I got busy. I said, if it's a chance to get a kidney out there, both of my parents are gone. I have a surrogate sister and a surrogate brother, but they are not my bloodline. I'm the youngest of 5 generations of my family. So I don't have a bloodline. That would seem a natural option. So I'm at the mercy of other people, which is a very vulnerable place to be.
Well, and I'm going to interrupt if I may. And you said you're at the mercy of other people, and I know you're a God-fearing woman.
Oh, Lord.
And we know that God is able. And so we're at the mercy of God to bring someone to you who may be able to donate a kidney. As you're hearing this story, this is a great story about Charlotte's background, but she's in need now, and she's helped so many people. We want you to call that number that you're seeing scroll across the screen. And you must give your name and tell them that you're interested in donating for Charlotte Ottley.
Thank you. Yes, it's really important. So getting through this was a very lonely, vulnerable, hurtful, fearful experience. And it challenged me because, like you, I was raised in the church and active, and I know that we serve an almighty and all-able God. And I know that He didn't bring me this far to leave me now. But I had to have another conversation with God.
Okay.
And say, okay now, Okay, we've done all this. What you want me to do? And he sent me a little angel that I had never met, just jumped in my life when she found out what I was going through, and she said, "You've got to tell people." And sometimes I could hear my mother saying, when I'm feeling down, "Whose child are you?" That's the cue of get yourself together.
Right.
You can handle this. And so I had a little talk with God and said, okay, now, here I am. Who do I turn to? What do I do? And it was as though he says, you have everything you need.
Wow.
I've spent a lot of time studying and asking questions, but what I want to warn the viewers, sometimes doctors aren't receptive to your research. It's just automatically, you don't know what you want. So don't let that stop you. Still ask the questions. Depend and trust your doctor that he knows best in his advice. And what I did with mine is I supplemented my treatment with holistic approach. That's a double-edged too now.
Tell you what, let's take a quick break.
Okay.
But we can talk a little bit more about that.
Okay.
We're talking with Charlotte Ottley, a great friend, and someone who's in need right now. We want you to support her. If you're not interested in donating the kidney, you may know someone else who may be interested. The number is scrolling across the bottom. Feel free to call that number. Tell them that you're interested in being a donor for Charlotte Ottley. Stay tuned for more smiles.
Have you ever been pressed for time? Rushing to get to that very important meeting with the big guys? Or trying to beat that grace period at work and finding somewhere to park is nearly impossible? You finally find a parking spot in front of the parking meter and you realize that you didn't bring any change. You happen to look over and see a homeless man sitting on the sidewalk. And for a half second, we immediately assume that the homeless person wants something from us. We snap back to reality as we check all our pockets for change because we don't want to get a parking ticket. Coincidentally, we look over and see the homeless man handing us the exact change we need for the parking meter. My new album, View from the Inside Out, was created to encourage listeners to not judge a book by its cover, because sometimes it's the person that we least expect that will be the one that gives us exactly what we need when we need it. View from the Inside Out drops March 19 everywhere. And remember, integrity matters the most when you're by yourself.
Welcome back. We're with Dr. Dez. What's on your mind with Dr. Dez? You just saw a clip, however, with IDEX Media. They're the ones who keep this broadcast going. I just thank them so very much. Also, before we get back into the conversation with Dr. Dez, we have a brief little announcement. East St. Louis School District 189, and particularly East Side High School, has agreed to assist Smiles TV in the production, and which is going to be great because the students will get an opportunity to learn the whole production process from design to implementation. And we call them Students in Training with Smiles. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up. And it's going to be through the East Side Works program, sponsored by East St. Louis School District 189. Dr. Dez.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, when we left and went to break, we were talking about the workplace. Tell us about the impact of anxiety in the workplace.
So, the impact in the workplace, as I was saying, can be tremendous because when we're talking about loss of days at work, we're talking about the frequency and the duration for how long a person could be out from work because due to anxiety. And let me just say this. Anxiety cuts across, so it's not any particular segment of the population, though women tend to be more so than men tend to get a diagnosis of anxiety. But it can cut across all economic stratospheres. So it doesn't hit one particular racial group or ethnic group than others. It can cut across any and all. So let me just say that so that people can take that, because one of the things that we like to do here on What's on Your Mind with Dr. Des, we're always trying to educate and take the stigma and the mystery away from what's going on. So let me just say that anxiety can occur with anyone at any age, including children.
So, with that being said, what are the various types of anxiety?
So there are several different types, but due to time, I won't go into all of the different types. But I think the major ones, generalized anxiety disorder is one of the major ones. And that's where you get into, again, a lot of excessive anxiety, a lot of excessive worry. And when we speak with Dr. Loin and Dr. Loin, we're going to get into a little bit more of that in terms of treatment and how do you treat those anxiety disorders. We also have separation disorder, and that's usually associated, and it can be with adults, but typically you find that that's associated with children. And so what it is with separation anxiety is that they fear the loss of their loved one, the attachment. And so they spend the better part of their day or their time worrying that something is going to happen to their loved one.
Wow, you know what, I can remember growing up when my mom and dad may have had to go out to work or whatever, and my older brother was taking care of us. I can remember sitting at the window waiting to see that they were coming back. Now, I don't know if it was a disorder, but I can tell you I had some anxiety.
So again, we want to keep in mind that from a developmental standpoint as a child, that's normal.
Okay.
So that's not like
Thank
there's
God.
some abnormal thing to it. What makes it, again, moving into that where one could classify, is this within a normal range? Is this outside of a normal range? It really is the length of time that a person is persisting in that type of behavior. So when they're getting an assessment or they're getting an evaluation, that's one of the things that either the therapist, the psychologist, or the psychiatrist, they're going to want to know that, because that's key information. How long has that behavior been going on? So again, let me just say that if your child, it's very natural when children start kindergarten or even daycare, they have that separation anxiety. That's a normal thing, okay? But if your child, let's say, is now a freshman in high school and is still having difficulty with that, now that's outside of what's appropriate.
Well, okay, and as you mentioned, your guests are going to be Dr. Loin and Dr. Loin.
Yes.
It's a husband and wife team, and What's on Your Mind with Dr. Des will continue, and we're going to put them on the couch. And as a matter of fact, Dr. Des will be the host, and this is the start of a spinoff to her own broadcast. She's not gone yet. We're not letting her go yet.
No.
But we would like to see Dr. Des do her own show aside from Smiles, which would still be a Smiles production. Thank you again. And
Thank you.
Looking forward to listening to the next segment.
Thank you.
And don't go away. You're going to be here with What's on Your Mind with Dr. Des.
Pain is something we all have to live with. Aching joints, arthritis, flare-ups from injuries that we long forgot. We each deal with pain in our own way until it becomes debilitating and we need real help. Even worse are the medications with opioids, steroids, and chemical ingredients we can't even pronounce or don't even know where they come from. Do we really want to put these potentially lethal drugs into or on our bodies? Did you know that even taking simple over-the-counter medicines for pain can have dangerous side effects when mixed with certain foods or other prescriptions? It's time to leave the harmful drugs behind and use No More Pain Herbal Blend. This blend of essential oils is 100% drug and chemical free. Massage into any joint or muscle for immediate pain relief. Don't believe it? Try it for yourself. Try it free for 30 days, and if you feel it doesn't work, simply return it. If it works for you, keep it and pay just $29.99. It's simple and painless. Take the 30-day challenge and get back to being you. Call today, 650-278-4428. That's 650-278-4428, or visit us on the web at beyondbeautiful.club. That's www.beyondbeautiful.club. beautiful.club. Join the club and get back to being you.
Hey, I bring to you DOC, Disciples of Christ Ministries. We are dedicated to the advancement of God's kingdom by bringing our people closer to Christ. We are proving ways to effectively commit Scripture to memory. If you want to memorize biblical text but are not sure what to memorize or how, the SOAP study is perfect for you. The SOAP method: Scripture, observation, application, prayer, is the perfect launching point to begin hiding God's Word in your heart. This user-friendly and godly-inspired gift will give you thought starters to encourage you and others on your spiritual journey, bringing you intrinsic, extrinsic, and most importantly, eternal value. For more information, you may contact us today at 314-449-1337. Receive a free Bible with your order today.
Is about to go in and eat and drink, talk to the customers and talk to the owner and the bartender.
Coming to the stage, y'all. I want you to put your hands together right now. Start clapping. Give it up for them. Give it up for them. I want you guys to make it feel real welcome. Put your hands together for Michelle. Hey! Thank you. It's important to have a relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? It's like critical time, so you can't afford to not be in a relationship with God. Amen. I love the church, the shingles. Y'all gotta forgive me because I ran out the house and I forgot to take my ADD medicine. So this could go a whole lot of different ways up here. The cart could get away from the horse, so I'm just letting you know up front. I got first thing on the menu that they need to do for us, for black folks, is we need a rib tip plate. I'm just saying. I think we need a rib tip plate on the menu at Starbucks. That would help us feel validated for what went on. Because it wasn't right. It wasn't right. There's a ticket for a friend. I'm going to just go on in. She was like, where you going? I was like, well, I'm going to try to. I thought we was going to do a game of one-on-one. She's like, where you going? I'm like, nah, come on back. Nope. I need 21s. 19. Oh, the devil is alive. Oh, no. When y'all see big people out of breath, don't talk to us. Don't talk to us. Every person in here knows what it's like to go up a flight of steps. When you get to the top of the flight of steps, you be like, then you get the call. All right, where my married couples at? Where the married folks at? Make some noise. Now, stop. Boo. Boo. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I fail to mention that I got my master's degree at Petty University? Sorry. Let me just insert this. Today's a day. Today's a good day to trust God.
That's right.
Amen. I'm just gonna say that one time. Today is a good day. Y'all say it with me. Y'all gon' say it. Today is a good day to trust God. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
When you visit Big Mama's in East St. Louis, Illinois, located at 5900 St. Clair Avenue, you will need a fork and a bib. Big Mama's is known for their barbecue, cakes, excellent service, and giving back to the community. Call in, eat in, drive through, carry out, order for your office. You can call Big Mama's at 618-398-8950 or visit 5900 St. Clair Avenue in East St. Louis, Illinois. We're talking with Charlotte Ottley. I have to keep saying my friend because I'm just so honored to be able to say that.
Oh.
And she is in need of a kidney, and we need your help. We need your support. Call your friends, your neighbors, everybody to find out who may be a match. Have them call the phone number that is scrolling across the bottom and tell them you want to be screened to be a kidney donor for Charlotte Ottley. Charlotte, I'm holding something in my hand, and you exemplified strength. I cannot imagine being in the position that you're in right now, but you have a motto. Tell us about what I'm holding in my hand.
It's an African symbol that I found, and I wrote a book, which I find all of this very ironic because much of my profession has been helping people survive success, not become successful. But the failure is when you get there and it's not all what it promised it would be or you thought it would be.
Right.
So I created and looked for a symbol that people could instantaneously go through and prompt themselves on how they should feel.
Right.
So that symbol has, at the bottom, it is that you can be rooted in faith, anchored. So you have to have an anchor and know who you are. You're rooted in faith, you're flexible in life. And I added to mine, it's like a diamond. You get through the rough times, and the other side is great. And it's all built on love.
Simply beautiful, just like
So
you.
those are the 4 triggers that when life gets tough or you don't know where you're going, just remember to hold on to your faith, be flexible and go with the flow, get through the tough times because you know where it's going to end, and love somebody, starting with yourself.
I'm so glad to see that as you're going through, you're still smiling.
Oh, Lord.
But I know there must be some tough times. And I know some days are harder than others. Do you feel comfortable sharing what
course.
those days are like and how you get through them?
Well, faith, obviously.
Okay.
And almost a commitment that for everything that has been invested in my life, that I owe it to get through this the very best I can. And I don't get a chance to weep much because I am surrounded by people who express their love on a daily basis. I mean, I have students, I taught at Florida A&M years ago, and I have students from Florida A&M calling. How did you find me?
Wow.
I would probably pass them if I saw them because I would know them. People who, Andrea, who talked to you about this. I've known her since she was a little bitty thing at church. So what this has done for someone who's lived a very private life is let me know when I opened up, which I was afraid to do because of judgment, and I'm an entrepreneur, so people feeling like, oh, well, she's sick, and so we can't give her a contract. My contract is my brain, and wherever I go, it's going to work. And this is my kidney, so I can still do what I can do. But all of those fears and that, I was encouraged to open up. And when I did, I've been flooded with love and support. I mean, and I tell people, well, save it till I have my surgery because you're giving me so much now in love and attention. And I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate it. But there's not a day that goes by that I don't say, Lord, touch the heart and soul of somebody that they are willing to take the first step. Because this is a journey. It's a first step of can I be screened? then go through the questionnaire of being screening, then go through all the tests to make sure we're compatible, then there's surgery, then there's recovery. So this is not a simple ask, but I know that it's an ask that can be achieved and has already happened for many people and need to happen for even more people. I want to be that catalyst, and I want to be that example.
Prior to going to our break, and I didn't come back to this point, you mentioned holistic medicine. Yes. And I have a question. Were you on insulin prior to the diabetes?
This is another reason. Usually you have to be at a 12, a 9, or a 12 to be on insulin. Okay. I never made it past 7.3.
Okay.
And even though I knew I needed to lose weight, I wasn't thinking that I was that obese, that I just talked to myself and said, I'll take care of myself, but I never knew the damage. But I think what was overlooked is I had an acute gallbladder surgery years ago and wasn't counseled on how that could affect your kidney, because now the kidney had to make up for the loss of that. And as a result, I think this accelerated, and we kept treating other things. No one ever mentioned kidney. It was about my leg. I thought I had arthritis, nausea. I thought I had some gastro problem. Gotta follow your doctor. You gotta be obedient and deliberate about what you're gonna do. I've had people say, you don't look sick. Well, I know that they're not meaning to hurt my feelings, but what's sick?
What does it look like to be?
Do you know what it took for me to get up this morning? Do you know what it took for me to just be here today?
Wow, I'm a lucky man. She is the light of my life, and as fine as a Georgia pine. Good God from Zion, she's truly been a blessing. So what am I afraid of? I mean, she's perfect in every way. I love her. Yeah, I need to do the right thing. I'm going to do the right thing. Yeah, it's time.
My man is fine. He even looks better in the morning. I love him so much. Although he's not perfect, I accept him for who he is, and I'll support him in every area. I'll be there for him till death do us part.
Excuse me? How do you know Chris? You must be Deanna.
Hey everybody, the holidays are here and it's time for y'all to get cooking. Happy holidays, guys. It's Hot 97 Media.
That's right. This is yours truly, the one and only DJ Polo.
And your girl, Miss Lily, here to tell you about a delicious brand new holiday flavor, Infusion Butter.
Hey guys, check it out. Infusion Blends flavored butter is the ultimate seasoning. Try that amazing rosemary and Cajun delight flavor to make your turkey, steak, chicken, and shrimp mouth-watering good.
Polo, you're only talking about the meats. You can't forget about the sweets. Infusion Blends butter also comes in perfectly peach and oh my blueberry for your pies, cakes, toast, and oh my goodness, it's so good. Trust me, I've tried it for myself.
But don't just take our word for it. Order some for the holidays for yourself or give the gift of Infusion Blends butter to your friends and family. Lily, tell them where to go.
You can order some now by logging in at www.infusionblends.com. That's www.infusionblends.com and receive $2 off orders over $34. And don't forget to check out the holiday assortment gift box set, which would be a perfect gift for the holidays.
That's right. This is the season. Let Infusion Blend spice butter be the reason you're cooking and pleasing.
Hi, I'm Roz McCarthy, CEO founder of Minorities for Medical Marijuana. Minorities for Medical Marijuana is a nonprofit advocacy, outreach, and education organization based in Orlando, Florida. Our focus is making sure that minorities have an opportunity in the new legalization of marijuana throughout the country. We're in South Carolina, we're in Missouri, Illinois, New York, New Jersey, Texas, Arizona. Our organization was formed to make sure that individuals, people of color, people coming from communities of color have an opportunity to be able to participate in the legalization of cannabis in the United States.
If you're tired of wandering in the wilderness of obesity, God is ready to usher you into the promised land of healthy and fit for life. Eating as an Act of Worship Ministries is a nonprofit organization dedicated to teaching the biblical principles for maintaining a healthy body for the glory of God. Join our free 12-week course for both adults and children online via Periscope or at New Calvary Temple, Kojic, located at 1120 Bishop Lindsay Avenue in North Little Rock, Arkansas. No registration fees or membership fees, just the purchase of the Eating as an Act of Worship workbook. So sign up today. To register, visit our website at www.eatingasanactofworshipministries.org and tune in to our Saturday morning radio show at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Time on Studio W Buzz.
Let's elaborate on that a little bit.
Well, you know, it's a feeling sometimes that when people have an image of what sick is or what you need to look like or feel like, illness makes everybody uncomfortable. Whether they love you or don't love you, it's an uncomfortable feeling. So when I step out, I try to be the best I can be and try to judge and learn my own body so that, you know, I can stay. So that's one key point of making you feel like maybe my story isn't downtrodden enough. Maybe it doesn't seem like I've suffered enough. Well, I want to touch somebody's heart that I've done everything and I'm doing everything not to tell that story. I want to continue to do the things that apparently God has chosen me to do, because sometimes I'm saying, how did I get in this? But you go the course. But I've been so blessed and had a good life.
That is excellent. I must ask this question. Why did you opt out of getting dialysis?
For a while. Okay, I want to try to hold on. And I made a pledge with my doctors that if I drop one more point, that I will do dialysis. And the dialysis I chose is an in-home method, and it's different. I would have to do the one that I've chosen. I have to do it 4 times a day for 15 minutes.
Okay.
That fit me, that helped me continue the quality of life that I want, that I could live with for the years that I have left. I'm 71 years old.
Are you 71?
Yes, I am. I'm proud of it. I've kissed death in the face 5 times. But those situations were acute. They were urgent surgeries or urgent whatever. baby, going through this journey awake and making a difference. I don't want to lose a moment of life. And I want someone to find me worthy, to be a part of me physically, and to be a part of my life. And anybody that you meet whose paths I've crossed, they will tell you that I am one with this.
Yes.
It's not phony. It's not I am one with this. And even people who don't like me. At the end of the day, they find me if they really need something done. So, but you don't have to like people. You've got to just love.
That's right. And love is an action word.
Just love. Love somebody.
Okay.
Because if it's not me, there are thousands of other people. But give me a chance.
That's right,
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Give me a chance.
We love you, Charlotte, dearly. And she's right. If you knew Charlotte, or if you don't know her, just her presence, you just emanate love from you.
Yeah.
Surviving success. She survived success, and now she's surviving life. We need your help. Support Charlotte. Be a kidney donor. The number has been scrolling across the screen all evening. I hope you even taped this broadcast so you can share it with others. She's a friend of mine, and we would like for you to support and help. Call the number. Tell them that you want to be screened to be a kidney donor for Charlotte Ottley.
Oh, I gotta hug
God
you.
bless you. God keep you.
Oh, sweetheart. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And we just love you dearly. Thank you for watching Smiles TV. Tune in as often as you can. And remember, only what you do for Christ will last. Jesus is the Lord. The Lord be magnified. Keep smiling.